Oh, yeah. I got to tell you, Drudge Report, face crack of the century, priceless. I'm going to put this on the Facebook. Bill Clinton and all those women. Which, by the way, they didn't do nothing about it back then either. But boy, did I predict what they were going to do to Trump? Brandon, you gotta vouch for me on this. Did I predict that once he got it, one story after another, nonstop, pound, we're going to find out stuff about Trump we never knew. And I told y'all this was coming. I knew this was coming. There was no way the press. They picked there's two people that have been, Carter was the worst president. Obama and Clinton will go down by far the worst. I don't care what polls say. It's just, I knew this was coming. I knew. And what was my fear? I said, my fear is Trump eliminates the Republicans and then the press is going to help Hillary try to win this. And I don't think she's won anything yet, folks, by no means. Matter of fact, I thought it was Trump's best debate. I really do. And, look, he's got a lot of pressure on him. It's the world against him right now. The elitists with the press corps. That's all against him. And I hear people, when they read in the press, they're pulling their hair out. I know. It's tough. It's going to be a tough way to win. But I want to talk about all of us hypocrites before the show gets going pretty good here in a few minutes, too. We're all hypocrites, and I'm going to prove it in just a second. But anyway, great to have you with us today. 844-766-6607. Hickson has it hotline. If you'd like to be part of the program, it's your opportunity to be a voice. Well, by the way, let me. I'm gonna go back just a little bit. Last Wednesday, Brian, I forgot. We actually celebrated our 18th year with KPEL. Mike Grimsley gave us the opportunity to syndicate the program October 5th, 18 years ago. I want to say 1998. Does that sound right? Can you do the quick Common Core math? 98 and 18 is 16. Right?
1998.
All right, good. And then 18 is 2016, so I did pretty good. I did the Common Core math, Brian. It took me 17 days to get it, but I finally came to it. Then I did the quick version in my head, and I came up with 18, so it must be right. But anyway, I do want to thank Mike and KPEL and friends over here. They were the first ones to say, hey, we want to take a shot at this thing. And we were way in Monroe, Louisiana, where, most of the population is down here. And they had a lot of doubters. Don't get me wrong. They better become friends in this area. But this area is home to me now. Some people still don't know I moved from Monroe to Lafayette about 27 months ago, and it's been great, and we're starting to settle in really nicely now. The people here, even with all the floods and the prices of oil and economy struggling, it's just been a wonderful place to live, and we're very grateful. I'm great. Brandon has come on with 27 months ago. I appreciate him. Being my producer, although I may not sound like it, I really do.
No, Moon, man.
Hey, your people have begged for you to get pay raises, and I've been right there with them helping you. I know you're thinking, Cornelius, call.
I was thinking about Cornelius. No, Moon, hey, look,
it's been a blessing, man.
I'm going to say this, man. I really very much appreciate you getting to come down here, me getting to work with you, man.
Yeah, we didn't even know each other.
Blast.
Matter of fact, we hadn't even met yet, I don't think, did we?
Yeah. The first time we met was when Mike brought you in, yeah.
Well, Mike, Mike could have put me with anybody. He had a lot of people. He did. He thought you would fit in good with what I was doing, and I'm very thankful for. I meant to get Grimsley's rear end in here this morning, but actually I forgot last Wednesday. And I did want to say thank to all so many people. I mean, Bernie Ray Sully was a program director. Bernie had just come on too, and Rob is now. Rob does a great job as well, and I seem to get along with everybody so far. Sales staff, everybody here. So I got a lot of people to be grateful for. But Mike was the first one to say, I think this will work. I want to give this a shot. And Brandon, that's what had to happen in every radio station. That's why we're grateful for all of them. They had to say, let's give it a try. And, it hadn't worked out perfectly, but we're very, very thankful to be here. I got to tell you, the people here have been unbelievable. As my pastor would say, awesome. And it really has been an awesome experience. So I'm thankful. The people I've met here have been unbelievable to me and my family. STM, St. Thomas More, has been unbelievable to Maddie. And, of course, Walker's had a great experience at the school he's at, too, Cathedral. And we just thank my wife. She's got a great job. And I'm just telling you, it's been unbelievable to be here after 18 years ago of just saying, hey, we're going to give you a chance. So, anyway, we're very thankful. 844-766-6607, Hickson has a hotline. I want to get to the debate and all that stuff in a few minutes. I want to, before we get to that, I made a prediction this is what they would do to Trump. And it's not stopping, folks. This is just the start. I told you they're going to bring up already. Here's a headline there. Trump companies accused of mistreating women in at least 20 lawsuits. See, Every day it's going to be black, Hispanics, women. It's going to be boom, boom, boom. They could do this to anybody, but they're not the Republican nominee for president. And I said this was coming. I said we would find out things about Trump you didn't want to know. But the problem is this election should have nothing to do with Donald Trump. It should have everything to do with this man as president now, Barack Obama, what he's done to the people and to this country. What he's done to us financially. Look at the debt. Obamacare, a nightmare, disaster. What he's done with foreign policy, his deals with Iran. And then Hillary, it should be about, we don't need the soap opera again. It's a total soap opera with the Clintons. And it's a bad soap opera. It's a bad, bad, bad soap opera and a bad nightmare the last 8 years. I mean, inner city people, blacks have been just really screwed by President Obama. He's helped nobody. Poor down, middle class down. Jobs are down. I mean, everything you touch is down because of the leadership. And we have Republican wimps sitting on the sideline, not doing anything to fix it. Okay? It's just shot. And they got people focusing on the wrong things. And that's how Hillary wins. Hillary is done. Hillary's reached the top. They've got to bring a man down. So I told y'all this was coming. Now, I want to jump on the comments because one thing, and this is what I'm saying, I'm talking to hypocrites and y'all listening to a hypocrite, but everybody's a hypocrite on what I'm getting ready to talk about. All right. They got Trump on a tape. Okay. Brags about kissing, groping, trying to have sex with women who were not his wife. Bill Clinton accused of rape, but they just wipe all that stuff off the thing. But here's what gets me upset. They got him on tape. So when he says this and they play this, it sounds really bad, right? And I agree it is. It's not nice to say. Okay, let me ask y'all a question. I'm not talking about innocent youth that are not at age of accountability. Christians know what I'm talking about. If you're non-Christian, you may be over your head. I'm not trying to go over your head, but I'm not talking about kids and the youth. I'm 55 years old. Let me be the first to say, because I'm not going to throw a rock from a glass house. I have said things, thank God, are not on tape for people to listen to. Thank God. But guess what? So is Brandon Como. So is Hillary Clinton. So if anybody listening to this program has said something in their lifetime that they never, ever, ever wanted on tape, Christian, non-Christian, everybody alike. But what do they do with Trump? They go ahead and get him on tape and they put it out there. But I'm telling you right now, what a hypocrite for anybody to make a comment on this. As if I don't do anything wrong. I would never make a comment like that. I don't care if you're black or white. Man, women included. Look, I've been in locker rooms with ball players through college. I know what's said. I know what people joke about. Things we used to joke about. I didn't say it was right. It didn't make it right. So I'm not defending him. It doesn't make it right. But everybody that's upset about that is the biggest hypocrite in the world, especially on the left in the newspapers writing all this. How would you like to go find out about Anderson Cooper, his life, and what he said in the past, and what he's done in the past? Wouldn't you like to know? These journalists write this stuff over and over again. What have they done? What are they doing? Now, I'm admitting, I just said, I'm a hypocrite on this, too, because I've said things, thank God, that couldn't be taped. Look, my mama, God bless her, is a saint in my eyes. My mama was the heart and soul in the background. And don't get me wrong, my dad was, too. You know, make sure we went to church and taught us about God. But I remember going back, and I'm not throwing my mama under the bus, folks. I'm just being honest with you. My mama said, now, y'all don't repeat that. Why did my mama say that? Well, she don't always repeat that. This is what it is. It's a gotcha moment. Gotcha moment. We got the biggest soap opera fake in Hillary Clinton running for office. There's nobody more critical. I'm for women and women's issues, and she beat up women, and you can see a picture of them on drugs, beat them up like a yard dog, scared them to death when her, quote, husband, by marriage, by name only, did whatever he wanted to do to women, and she defended them and beat them to death. I mean, beat them down like dogs. And this woman got the nerve to bring this up. And the people in the press, what hypocrisy we all have for people going, I ain't voting for him. No, I knew it. I just can't do it. I could go back and grab, I guarantee you, if everybody had a tape, God has a tape recorder on all of us. Okay? And you will stand accountable one day for what you've done, especially if you hadn't repented for what you've done. You're going to stand up for him, and that tape recorder's going to play one day. And I wish all of us could play our tape recorders right now. Once again, I didn't say I was defending Trump. I can't, but I can tell you right now, taping somebody in a private conversation, whether they said something lewd and crude and rude, I bet Bill Clinton never said that. You know, Trump made a comment. He said he played golf with him. He said these things Clinton said. Clinton said about his wife, who a lot of people believe she likes women as much as Bill did. That's all out there. It's been out there for a long time, but nobody talks about it. What did you think he had Clinton on tape behind the scenes? This guy was a president. We got women sitting in the audience claiming they were raped by him. The press backs him up. I would love to be able to go get into Anderson Cooper's life and a tape on what he said through the years. And Obama. We're all hypocrites on this, folks. And the people that are making that a big deal, you're the worst kind of hypocrites. I don't care if you're white, black, or not. We all are, Brandon.
Politician or not?
Politician or not. Politicians have really squealed on this one. Anyway, we take a break. Be back. Your comments, you're welcome. Be in just a second. Hi, hello. Welcome back. Moon Griffon Show. Great to have you with us. 844-766-6607. Hickson has a hotline. If you'd like to be part of the program, it's your opportunity to be a voice. Look, I'm a hypocrite, folks. They had a tape on my life. And everything I've said since I've been, let's just go to 18, I'd be embarrassed. Everybody listening to me, every person listening to me, if you tell me you wouldn't be embarrassed, you're a liar. And you're a hypocrite. Because there's not a perfect man. The only perfect man ever walked on this earth was named Jesus Christ. And he'll be back one day. Period. End of conversation. Okay? But Donald Trump said, I know what he said. I heard it too. But the people that are getting mad, you just as hypocritical. They just don't have you on tape yet. You're not running for the highest office in the land. This is all shock media. If Hillary Clinton didn't have the media, just like Obama would have been beaten in the party thing, he'd have been done if they'd have followed his life. Same thing with Hillary. I can't believe this country has turned so far to the left, away from God, that far left to listen to the media tell you who to think and who's bad and who's good, and that's what they're doing. They think they have the moral authority now to tell you everything. Wait, man-made global warming is crushing us. We're supposed to believe that crap. You know, just look at what they're saying and who they're pulling for. You got a woman by the name of Hillary Clinton who defended her husband and beat the living boop. Now let me stop right there. Brandon, I went, boop. You know what I was thinking? That wasn't what I was thinking. I didn't say I was right, by the way. I don't think I'm right by thinking or saying what I've said through the years. I'm focusing on me. But everybody listen to this prayer. Yeah, I knew you weren't the right wing. Look, like my pastor always said, if you want to come be around a bunch of sinners, come to this church, a bunch of hypocrites, we welcome to the group. I get to walk right in with them. Chief among them. Don't go with this. And then they dropped this a few days before the debate to help old Hillary out. They had to help old Hillary out. Had to help old Hillary out. So we dropped this. We dropped this in the deal. We dropped this in the deal right for the debate. Oh, Tommy, you think this stuff's by accident, folks? I saw somebody today won $5 million any more tapes on Trump. I wish I would, Brand, if I was a billionaire, I'd offer $10 million on anything on Hillary. Folks, this is what we gotten into. Shock stuff. I told y'all this was coming. It's not that I can see better than most people. I never said that. I never described myself as that. But I called this. I knew this was coming up. I knew this would happen. I knew this was coming. Well, they shouldn't have picked Trump. That's beside the point. I knew it was coming. It's Hillary's turn to be president. She gets a hold of Supreme Court justice. You people that believe in a Second Amendment. First Amendment is getting shot down every day in freedom of speech. You want to bet? Okay. I think the traditional marriage is it. Oh, you bigot racist. Oh, my God, Moon thinks a marriage between a man and woman is the only thing that ought to be. So God says it is. What a no-account rep. One day I'm not going to be able to say that, folks. To be against a man going in a woman's bathroom, one day I'm not going to be able to say that, folks. That's eliminating free speech. That'd be amendment number 1. When they get amendment number 1, when they get 2, they'll get 1. Folks, I know what Donald Trump said. I can see somebody, and I'm waiting for these liberals. You must agree with Trump. You're defending him. I'm not defending Trump. I'm telling you, you're a hypocrite. The person that says that is way dumber than me. He's the biggest hypocrite of all. Somebody, I ain't never said nothing like that. You probably said it in your sleep. That's what makes me mad, this gotcha politics. I gotta go grab something from somebody. They hate him so bad. They hate him so bad, but they didn't hate him all these years. They hate him now because he wants to be president. Never heard Trump was a racist. Never heard anything about Trump and women. Heard about Bill Clinton when he was a governor of Arkansas. Him and Hillary got married just for convenience. It was never a marriage. It was never a marriage like you think of it. But yet, they're going to try to give this woman the presidency who shouldn't be close to power. She shouldn't be near any power. She should not even be close to touching power. Did y'all see what Clinton spokesman said to Trump? Go F yourself. That's really class to be hanging out with people like that, huh? You know, that's when I guess I'm more disappointed in we're going to let the press, Brandon, the moderators, we'll get to that. We got a deal when we come back for that. I got a guest, though, for a segment. We'll come back later in the program, play the moderators. My God. I would love to have a tape on these two moderators, on what they said in their life and in the background and what they say every day. Wouldn't you like to? Ain't this what we need to do? When the time you're born, you got to walk around with a tape to record everything you say, just so we can hold it against you later. See, the world don't forgive, folks. The world never forgives. Only Jesus can do that. We got to take a break. Oliver Jenkins joins the 4th Congressional District race. We'll take a break, talk to Oliver when we get back, and, of course, your phone calls. All that coming later in the program. I'm just starting. Hi, y'all. Welcome back. Moon Griffon Show. Great to have you with us. 844-766-6607. Hickson has it hotline. Before we get back to all that, and I got a lot of it. I got you got CNN coaching the focus group. Well, we're going to play it for you. We got 2 hours. Y'all chill out. We're going to jump gears, though, get back to all this and some of the debate and get your calls in. I know a lot of people have been calling, and I hadn't gone to the call, but we'll get you more so in the second hour than the first. Let's go to Lieutenant Colonel Oliver Jenkins joins us. He's running for the 4th Congressional seat that's opening up. Mr. Jenkins, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing great. How you doing, Moon?
Man, I'm hanging in there despite myself. It's beautiful weather and fall weather, man. Nothing like it.
Hey, well, I'm glad to hear Louisiana has finally gotten to fall. It's getting a little hot.
That's right. It always takes us a little while sometimes. Hey, Lieutenant Colonel Oliver Jenkins, give us a background, who you are and things of that nature, so people know who you are.
Yes, sir. So I'm a retired Marine. I spent 20 years in the Marine Corps. Predominantly as a fighter pilot. I flew F-18s and EA-6Bs pretty much in every major theater of operation between 2008 and 1988. I did Iraq, Afghanistan, Southeast Asia after 9/11, and then Bosnia. And then on my latter stage of my career, I was working on a Special Forces program, preparing folks for operations in Afghanistan on the ground. After retiring, I got involved in the oil and gas industry. Somebody here in town, Shreveport, where I grew up, said, hey, he'd like to hire a veteran. So he hired me, and we worked together and ended up, I was the president of the company for the last 2 years before stepping down to pursue this office.
Okay, what makes you want to run for this right now, Mr. Jenkins?
Well, I mean, I think you certainly see where we stand in terms of national security, the absolute threats facing our country, lack of veteran leadership up in Washington, D.C. You know, we used to have in the 70s almost 80% of Congress were veterans. Mm-hmm. Today that number is less than 20%. And naturally there's a lot of folks that are Vietnam-era veterans that have had very, very honorable service, but they're kind of reaching the latter stages of their career. And we need some folks that have, recent experience in the military to make some of these tough decisions, provide some leadership for our foreign policy and direction, and, become a fighter for Louisiana.
Yeah. I know you're getting to walk around and see a lot of people, and I know issues that are dear to my heart. What's the 2 or 3 things that people are telling you the most that say, Lieutenant Colonel, here's what we need to be doing. Here's what we need. Somebody's in your ear because they want you to run. What are they telling you is the biggest issues to them?
Well, I touched on the national security issue. Fortunately, Louisiana hasn't quite been as threatened as other parts of the country, but they recognize those threats are very real. And then the other part is, our economy. Our economy is not good. We are a predominantly, oil and gas-based economy, and the industry is not doing well. People feel that, frankly, the government's burden on regulation and everything is really a drain on our economy, and we've got 2 great military bases in our district that are big economic drivers. And when people hear the word BRAC and base closures, everybody gets worried. So those are kind of, I think the biggest drivers of issues that people talk to me about. And it's a little bit of my background. I mean, heck, Fort Polk is, I think, the single largest in the state of Louisiana itself. Barksdale is number 3. We can certainly ill afford to lose either one of those bases. And then you look at all the people that are out of work because of the oil and gas industry. We hadn't really had anybody with an oil and gas background that represented Louisiana. And, frankly, I think it's a good opportunity to get somebody with my experience up there and represent those specific issues.
Yeah, we need some, and I've said this all along, we really do need some tough people from the president down, because the decisions we have to make are going to be tough. I mean, we got terrorists over here because of the open border policy of the last 8 years. And it's such a frustrating thing to watch us give away our country to people who don't love this country. And that's people coming over here that come over here illegally, refugees and things like that people just don't want to be here.
Yep. I mean, we got to do something about it for sure. I'd like to start with enforcing the laws we currently have on the books. I'm not, before we go changing everything, I'd like people to enforce what we got on the books. And based on that, clearly we need to do something about monitoring people coming across and a way to track them. And ultimately, I hate to use the term vetting when we talk about people, but, be able to ascertain whether people are actually here for the right reason or the wrong reason. So all those need to be in a comprehensive policy, but starting with, enforcing the current laws we have probably would be the way I would start with.
Yeah, no doubt about it. By the way, if you just joined us, Lieutenant Colonel Oliver Jenkins, he's running for 4th Congressional District, open seat and things going on. I mean, one of the questions I asked was, a few veterans running this in different events. I asked them about, since you spent time overseas in some of these other countries, that we really don't want Sharia law over here. We want a constitutional law. We want to stick to what we have. I got a bad feeling if Hillary becomes president and we're not going to stop the borders, we're going to have people over here wanting Sharia law in certain parts of the countries, and that's what divides all these other countries. I got to tell you, I wanted to find a baseball game last night, and I went to Major League Baseball, and it was on, and I was appalled and couldn't believe they were playing it in Spanish. I couldn't even listen to it. I don't speak Spanish. So I'm watching, I'm going, oh my God, where's the English? Put some English on here, people. And I thought it was appalling, but just your comments.
Well, listen, we have a very, strong Constitution. We have a strong, value system in our country. Yes, it is being eroded away. I mean, we need folks that are, willing to go and stand up for the values that we hold dear to our hearts. And frankly, there isn't enough of that. Now, I'm going to just talk economics. I love it, the fact that, U.S. baseball is being broadcast in foreign countries, because that's really in our best interest. That's, economic expansion. I'm assuming, that ends up aiding our bottom line from, an economic standpoint. I mean, now the fact that you're watching.
Yeah, but I don't think it was designed for that. I think it was designed for here because I think English should have been official language. It made it easier to decide who we were, and I thought helped us in our culture. That's not cutting. It's not cutting anybody else speaking in Spanish. It's just that's who we are.
No, I think that's fair. And I didn't know if you were watching a Hispanic channel or...
Oh, no. This was a Major League Network because my wife said, y'all must have hit something to turn it to that. Well, I kicked on other stations, and guess what? She thought I had made this mistake.
I got you.
But anyway, look, I only got a minute left, Lieutenant Colonel Oliver Jenkins, and we'll do it again, but anything you want to tell the voters real quick?
Listen, it's an important election, and, we're at 30 days out or whatever, maybe 29. We desperately need, battle-hardened veterans in Washington, D.C., representing our values, in Louisiana. And you got to, it's a tough time in our country. People with business experience and veterans, those are two qualities that we frankly don't have enough of in Washington and really need to look strong at those type of people in this next election.
Yeah. All right. Well, look, best of luck. We'll do it again.
Okay. Thanks, Moon. Appreciate your time.
Yes, sir. Good luck to you. All right. Let's take a quick break. More to come. A lot more to come, folks. Don't go nowhere, folks. You're going to hear comments. And hey, I hope we even got some Juanita Broderick and Paula Jones just to kind of balance it out there. Folks, remember, we're all hypocrites. But what they're doing now is just flat out wrong. Voting to support the left is flat out crazy. We'll take a break. Be right. Gee whiz. How y'all all? Welcome back, Moon Griffon Show. I don't want that recorded either, by the way. You didn't have a tape recorder, did you? No. All right. Ian, my buddy Ian in here, he's a little left of me. Ian was in here talking to us, and I went on a rampage. And I thought Ian was in here with a tape recorder, and I thought, please don't play that. Yes, sir.
Now, Moon, to answer the question you asked earlier off the air,
yeah.
Yes, I'm sure there's something I've said in my past that if I ran for office could be killed, or that could kill me, but I think my wardrobe choices during college with some of the hideous sweaters I wore back
that might be worse than what you said?
Yes.
Didn't think about it, Ian. What we wear. What we acted like.
Hey,
oh,
you
my
know what?
God.
If I was as fashionably sensible as Kenneth Bone was last night with that red cardigan, maybe I could survive a campaign.
Didn't think about it, Lee. Great point. Hi, hello. Welcome back. Moon Griffon Show. Great to have you with us. 844-766-6607. Hickson has a hotline. And by the way, I am going to take some phone calls this hour. Brandon's been over there playing those pieces and talking about all this stuff, so we didn't have chance. But I promise you, this will be the hour I'll get y'all in. 844-766-6607. Hickson has it hotline. And by the way, to prove my point about ESPN, Tuesday night at 9 o'clock, if you want to watch President Obama and the rest of them talk about race relationships and what we can do, it's on ESPN. It's on ESPN at 9 o'clock. Not on CNN, not on ABC, on ESPN. And I love that. And tell you what, you want to kill sports, keep putting politics in it like they're doing. You're going to kill sports. Once again, ratings down for the NFL. I was one, didn't watch a play yesterday. I've always liked watching the NFL, not a play. Let me back up. See, I'm hypocritical again. My kid had the game on last night, Walker, and when I walked in there, I watched a few plays, saw some of the scores, and that was my NFL for the weekend, and that was probably a little bit more than I wanted. The politics. I told y'all about ESPN. You want to have Obama talk about race? Put it on ABC, NBC, CBS, Fox, whatever you want to. Put it all on that. Let's have a big discussion. Not ESPN. If they want to run professional sports, and they're doing a hell of a job of it, then keep doing that. All right. By the way, folks, they're talking about what Trump said, which, by the way, we're all hypocrites. We all said stuff in our private conversation. I'm not saying necessarily that, but something. What about, like, Lil Wayne? Ain't that a rap dude? I mean, Lil Wayne, Big Wayne, Freaky Wayne, Deaky Wayne, whatever his name is. What is it, Brandon?
Lil
Wayne. Okay, I'm in about Lil Wayne. Not Big Wayne.
As a matter of fact,
John Wayne was big.
No,
that ain't John Wayne. All right.
As a matter of fact, Lil Wayne had the keys presented to him to Lafayette, didn't he, Ian?
By the Prime Minister, Joel Robideau, yes.
Oh, wow. Not surprised. Well, here's the point. Now, I'm using him, but I don't know what he sung. But what if you took rap songs, that's our culture today, and look what they say about women. I mean, some of the nastiest. People buying them left and right. They're not we don't see it on the newspapers and TV screens, and nobody's. It's all cool doing that, but we don't put that out there and say, "Look at this guy," but we don't buy his tape again. No, if you ran for president, they might. They probably wouldn't. If you ran on the Democrat side, you can say anything you want. Ran on the Republican side, you can't say nothing because you become a hypocrite overnight.
It's called a class in the African American department at Princeton University. They actually have a class that focuses on music, rap lyrics, and race relations and gender relations as well.
So it's okay to talk about women in a bad light and
Not
sing about them? Yo, baby, I mean, it's okay to do that?
No, it's not. It's not okay.
Why? But you say it's not okay. People buy tapes all the time.
They do.
All the time. They send it out there. You don't see people in the newspaper and on the TV. Anderson Cooper, we're doing a piece today on rap music and how we need to rip this out of people's mouth.
We would need 5 hours to hold this discussion, Moon. You've just
They're
tapped
not going to give me 4 more. This is it.
You've probably created an event where you could sell tickets, make a lot of money, and have a discussion about it.
And maybe even put it on ESPN. Gee whiz.
Put
All right.
the E back in ESPN.
That's right. ESPN. They can play this stuff. 844-766-6607. I just thought about that. All that nasty, filthy music about women, degrade them down to yard dogs. Yet, we don't say nothing. We don't cover that more. Run for president and say something. All of us are hypocrites. Everybody. You from 18 to your whatever you are right now, I promise you there's a conversation you said somewhere where you ran your mouth. You shouldn't have said it. And even old Innocent Como over there agrees with that.
Anderson Como.
Innocent Como.
No.
Even you agree with that. All right, let's take a phone call. Let's go to Jeff in Lafayette. Jeff, how you doing?
I'm doing all right, Moon. Hey, I got one for you. Maybe they will record this one and play it back later. But Obama and Hillary were flying back in on Marine One. And there was a big old crowd of people down on the ground, and Obama looks out the window and says, man, I could throw a $100 bill out this window and make somebody happy. Hillary says, that's nothing. I can throw out 250s and make 2 people very happy. The pilot says, that's nothing. I got y'all both beat. I can throw both of you out the window and make every whole country happy.
See, I could say something on that, then I'm thinking that would be taken. Oh, man, he wants these people to perish. That's what they would say.
Well, that's what happened last night with Donald Trump.
What's that?
When Anderson Cooper started asking him if he actually carried out sexual abuse against women. Remember that?
Well,
yeah.
but I'm not surprised the question would come out like that. But then, instead of one being, hey, Hillary, do you feel guilty for the people that died in Benghazi? Because if you talk to the parents of those young people that killed, they believe it was your responsibility. They won't ask her that question. They're never going to ask her that question. And she would be disaster. People vote for who they want to. I got my one vote, and I can promise you it won't be for Hillary Clinton. It's really interesting to keep following this stuff. It really is, folks. Dick Morris and some of these people. Billy Bush now, who's on the Today Show because he was with Trump and laughed. He's gone. They're saying he's suspending him indefinitely. I don't know what that means. I mean, I've seen people get suspended indefinitely and they never get to come back.
I think it's funny that somebody made the comment that he's the most relevant Bush in the election cycle.
By the way, probably is. I would have to agree with that. It's unbelievable. All right, 844-766-6607. Cornelius in Alexandria. How you doing, Cornelius?
Hey, Big Moon. How you are there?
Doing good.
Boy, you had your favorite talk show host on there, Carol Ross, the big bad boss.
Yeah, I hear you.
Friday.
I hear you. Yeah, she's great.
I was telling Brandon about Trump. Now, a guy, they interviewed an independent fella. I can't remember what station it was on, and he was saying that you voting for a grandma that's a liar and a grandpa that's a dirty old grandpa. So that's the choices you got in the election. And I thought that was kind of cute.
Well, it is what it. And one of those will be the president of the United States. That's a fact.
Yeah.
I'm
a trumpet.
I just know this. Hillary cannot go any higher at all. All they can do is bring Trump down. That's a fact. She's reached the peak months ago. It's just that they know Trump can go up. They got to continue this onslaught. I called all this. When he became the nominee. I said it was going to be a story a day. We're going to find out things about Trump you never wanted to hear about. There's one of them right there. But like I said, if I would thank God that I hadn't lived my life with somebody sticking a microphone in my mouth or playing a tape on me. Because I tell you what, hey, what about you, Cornish? You think you'd be?
Oh no,
I'm asking.
Hey. But Fleming and Bustani are turning against Trump. I read that in the paper today.
Well, they made comments. I wouldn't have made either one of the comments myself because, once again, and I like both of those guys. They're friends with me. I just wouldn't be making comments like that. I'd just shut up and move on because everybody has things in their closet. Everybody. And when I mean, not even in their closet. I'm talking about out of their mouth. Out of their mouth We have all said things we regret. I don't care if it's the cutest, best grandmama that's 88 years old. She made comments before that she would like to take back. Now, if they had them on tape, she'd have to admit she made them. Everybody's done this. And the problem is it becomes an issue. I'm not defending Trump. You're defending anything Trump said. I'm telling you, I'm as guilty. Brandon's the guy Ian.
Yep, we're all guilty.
Ian, who thinks the Dodgers are a good baseball team, he's as guilty as the rest of them.
But look, Clinton actually did it. So, Trump said it, but Clinton did it.
But what Hillary has done to women in defense of Bill Clinton, protect him. How about rip and beat the women down that have gotten in the way? I mean, I don't know about you, but rape charges are pretty serious. But
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Clinton actually did it. Bill actually did it, but
whether he did it or not, we're not going to know. But I know this: there's accusations. If Hillary was fighting, she should have been fighting for the women, not for Bill. Anyway, it is what it is. Thanks, Cornelius. We got to go because we're going to have to take a break. 844-766-6607, Hickson has it hotline. Your opportunity to be a voice is right now. Hi, hello. Welcome back. Moon Griffon Show. Great to have you with us. 844-766-6607, Hickson has it hotline. By the way, how many people did watch the debate last night? Brandon, did they give out any numbers? It was 80.
I haven't heard them yet.
4 million on the first one. I don't think it's going to be quite that high, being on a Sunday night football, baseball playoffs.
Although that game was kind of a snooze fest.
What's that?
Sunday night football. At least from the scores I saw. Looked like a snooze fest to me.
Oh, yeah, I watched about 2 or 3 plays. Yeah. I have no idea. Who won the game?
Green Bay. Yeah, Green Bay.
Okay.
Ian said, was there a game last night?
And the baseball game ended up being pretty good, so I kind of went with that. Plus, we had some stuff going on in the household that didn't have a chance to watch a lot of that stuff last night. 844-766-6607. Hickson has a hotline, folks, if you would like to talk about the debate. If you think I'm wrong on any of this, be glad to join in with your good-looking talk show host. I can say that because I'm on radio.
By the way, it does say that there were significantly fewer viewers last night than there was for the first one.
Yeah, I knew it would be. All right, list of Hillary tax hikes. $1 trillion tax hike. By the way, if they tell you $1 trillion, it'd be 1.5. Payroll tax hike. She would veto a payroll tax increase on all Americans should such a bill reach her death. Said she would set a middle-class tax pledge aside. Number 2, 25% national gun tax. Okay. Number 3, doubling of the federal excise tax on guns. Number 4, 65% death tax. Number 5, capital gains tax hike. Go from 23.8 to 43.4. No corporate income tax relief for anyone. No personal income tax relief for anyone. Carbon tax, the global warming tax. That's what we need. Man-made global warming tax. That's my favorite. For something that's an outright lie. Congressman John Fleming, how you doing, sir?
Hey, Moon.
How you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm doing super, and I was very pleased with Donald Trump's performance last night on the debate stage. And so I just thought I'd check in with you.
No, I thought he did a great job. They made a big deal about you and Bustani going after what he said on the dealing with the sexual deal and all that stuff. And just get your comment on that because, and you know, John, me and you have been friends a long time. I don't know why anybody would make a comment on that for one reason. And you're going to agree with me on this. You don't want everything you ever said on a tape. Neither do I, because I'd be in trouble. And neither is Brand. Anybody, your wife, your kids, nobody wants that. What if somebody came around, all of us with a tape? We'd all shut up. It'd be the quietest country in the world. All I'm saying is we've all done that. They just happen to have a tape and they planned it. I think it's not an issue. I know y'all made comments kind of condemning the comments, but the fact is I've heard worse in a locker room with 18-year-old boys in high school.
Yeah, I agree, but I do think that it is important that we not appear as someone in elected office like I am as a congressman to agree with or to condone such comments. So on the one hand, I do think it's important to say, look, I don't go along with that. I disagree with it. But on the other hand, look, Moon, I'm in full support of Donald Trump for presidency. Mm-hmm. There's nothing that he said in those comments over 10 years ago that's going to change that for me.
Okay.
Because even though he may have said those things, and maybe that's a fantasy of his, Bill Clinton did those things and much more.
Yeah, Bill Clinton lived the fantasy, no doubt.
He did, and his wife covered for him.
Yep.
I mean, she's the biggest enabler in the world. So when it comes to sexual predatory behavior, she is the quintessential queen of someone who helped Bill Clinton do what he has done over the years. And there's actually been what we think even much worse behavior that's not even publicized by Bill Clinton. Do we want another sexual predator in the White House? And you know he would be there.
Yeah.
And so I just have to come out and say, look, I'm fully in support of Donald Trump as our next president. He's no choir boy. He's got no halo. But, look, neither do you nor I. And we need to get past this. And I thought he had a tremendous performance last night on the debate.
I did, too. I really do. I mean, it's and I was in and out. I started watching it and got to go back and out. I had some personal stuff dealing with last night, but the bottom line is I knew they were going to do this against him. I don't think this is the last thing you hear. The press is looking for things to bomb him left and right, and it's a shame. They got somebody right there on the left they could bomb on a daily basis. They're trying to protect. The moderators are absolutely horrendous. They'd be better off putting them on stage and say, okay, y'all got an hour and a half, go. Say what y'all want to say. You know, they do that. Yeah. They do that in other parts of the world. They just let them go.
Absolutely. And let me say this. Yesterday I spoke to 2 churches. I was at a Get Out to Vote event, and I had women, young and old, middle age, every age, very religious Christian women and otherwise, and every one of them said to me, I am for Donald Trump. I don't care what he said. I am full support, and I want you to support him and stay with him. And, of course, I reassured them that I would and always have said that I would and reassured them. So we need to pull together as a conservative state and really get behind Donald Trump and make sure he gets elected, because she's going to bring in 3 or 4, if she's elected, Hillary, she will bring in 3 or 4 liberal justices. In this country, even as bad as things have gone the last few years, we won't even recognize it in another 5 or 10 years.
Yeah, try to tell a young person that last night that has kids, you don't even know how good you had it to watch how hard it's going to be on your kids. You cannot give away everything. You can't buy every vote. You can't take all the taxes from somebody and give it to somebody else. And all of socialism has failed everywhere it's been tried. It will not work here either.
Right, absolutely. So I just wanted to be sure and reassure you and reassure your audience that I stand 100% behind Trump. I don't condone his comments, but you're absolutely right. We all say things that we don't want public.
I can tell you, I said something last week. I don't even want to. That was last week. I'll forget the rest of my life. Anyway, got to go. Colonel John Fleming, thanks. Talk to you later.
All right. Thank you so much.
All right. Uh-huh. And when we get back, Colonel Rob Maness will join us for a segment, 844-766-6607. Hickson has it hotline. We'll be right back. Hi, y'all. Welcome back. Moon Griffon Show. I'm messing with my microphone here, knocking stuff off.
I was going to say, what you laughing at?
Laughing at myself. As my dad always said, son, learn to laugh at yourself. Hell, everybody else is. By the way, I can think of some things my daddy told me he wouldn't want recorded either. And my mom. I mean, I'm telling you, mom's a saint. I guarantee you I don't want some. Y'all don't have to say I said that. I wonder why mom would say that. But knowing politics, go find what somebody said, and because you don't have tape on somebody else saying it, they didn't say it. Bring the tape. They'd bring a tape of Hillary, and they'd say, probably not her. Let's move on. 844-766-6607. They'd have a picture of Hillary on video saying it. That's not Hillary. Look what they did. They messed with her mouth. Let's go. Colonel Rob Maness joins us. He's running for the United States Senate seat in the great state of Louisiana. Colonel Maness, how you doing?
I'm doing great, Moon. How are you, brother?
Well, my question to you, and it's a tough one. Have you ever said anything you're glad didn't have a tape recorder around?
Oh, hell yeah.
Man, look, everybody got a man up, but yet in the political politics, it's big news. Oh, my Lord. We just make a whole weekend of it.
Tape and record it for me.
God. But see, in political politics, we hate Trump so bad. He said it. We got him now. He hates women. He uses women. He misuses women. Well, Bill Clinton, he was a president. He would never have done that.
That's right. And Moon, I got to tell you, man, thanks for letting me come on, because this incident over the last 72 hours really draws a clear line of distinction between the top four Republican candidates in the U.S. Senate race here in Louisiana. The two congressmen in the race, they came out very quickly and did a cowardly thing at a critical time in Mr. Trump's election cycle, in this campaign cycle for Republicans, and that was condemn the comments but leave it hanging whether they still support him or not. Fleming must have got some courage from the private call that they had with the House leadership this morning, because now he's finally saying he's with Trump. Look, I was on the same stage in Lake Charles he was yesterday, and the ladies in that audience told me after I spoke I was the only one to come up full-throated, full support of Donald Trump without criticizing the man. And we got to just move on, man. This was 11 years ago. I get it. But, geez, like you said, everybody's going to have something somewhere. It's time to move on. That's what real leaders do. They rise to the challenge. And when you want real leaders in the United States Senate in Louisiana, there is only one clear leader in this campaign that can win, and that's retired Colonel Rob Maness. Charlie Boustany came up and didn't say he continued to endorse him, and he publicly criticized him. John Fleming did the same thing. And John Kennedy is worst of all because he's been silent, just like a political hack. And that's what they are. They're crony candidates for their different areas of the crony GOP elite, and it's time to put a real American, regardless of party, into the U.S. Senate, and that's Rob Maness.
Did you get a chance to watch the debate last night? I thought Trump did really, really well, and it was embarrassing for Hillary in my book. Yeah. Yet that's not what the spinmeisters. Of course, I'm seeing more people say how good Trump did too. I was a little shocked that some of them were saying how well he did.
Yeah, I didn't see it visually live, but I heard it on the radio coming across the state. We were driving back to Lake Charles last night, and I thought he did a wonderful job. Especially after the first 20 minutes where he was able to once and for all dispense with this propaganda media attack on him. And that's what these two congressmen did. They fell into the liberal media trap over this weekend, and it draws a clear, bright line. The leader in this crowd in the U.S. Senate race in Louisiana rose to the challenge. I came out publicly and said I was going to stay with Donald Trump immediately, and the congressman did not. Kennedy said nothing, and that's even worse. Especially, one day is like a year at this point in this presidential and this U.S. Senate race. So it's very important that these guys show leadership if they want to be a U.S. senator, and they have absolutely, utterly failed and not shown much courage either. As a matter of fact, it's cowardly what all three of them have done, in my opinion.
What are people telling you out on the race? I know you're one of the ones that believe it still can be two Republicans in a race. Some do. I don't know if that's true, but then again, with so many people in the race, maybe it is a way for, quote, two Republicans to be in a race, which would be an interesting race.
Well, there's 6 viable candidates in the race from a resource perspective, and myself is included in that, and I'll just go through them for you. They're Bananas Foster Campbell.
I love that name. I love that name, by the way. I don't know where the hell you got it from, but I like that name.
Yeah. There's Caroline Fayard Landrieu, the Landrieu candidate, Caroline Fayard Mary Landrieu. There's John Kerry Kennedy, Mr. Common Core. There's middle of the road Charlie Boustany, and there's Lion John Fleming, who's lied several times about me personally, and that's an unforgivable sin, in my opinion. Stick to the issues, buddy. And the issues are you can't lead, and you don't have the courage to lead unless it's a political ploy to get you elected or reelected. And then there's retired Colonel Rob Maness. I'm not a crony candidate, but I have raised nearly $1 million on my campaign. I have a great super PAC that's got over $500,000 that they're putting to good use of running TV ads and digital ads all around the state. And we've got our grassroots operation, which is truly the true grassroots organization across the state up and running. And we have a great chance to get in this runoff. We have our voters from 2014 behind us. We've got 100,000 veterans that voted for the other Republican in 2014 that are behind us, and we're going to get in that runoff, and we're going to win regardless of what crony candidate is in there.
By the way, talking to Rob Maness, Colonel Rob Maness, of course, our special guest. He is running for the United States Senate race, and he will be on the ballot. As a matter of fact, I think the absentee voting starts in 3 weeks from 3 weeks, and then 4 weeks, of course, from tomorrow is the actual election. That everybody's going to be really keeping their eyes on. And the Senate race has been kind of quiet. I just hope that people turn out, and I'm worried about low turnout, Rob, because of the presidential race. Do you think that's going to be a problem at all?
Donald Trump's folks are going to turn out, and my folks are going to turn out. I can guarantee you that. Because they're angry. We saw a bunch of them at the Lake Charles rally event yesterday, and they're angry. They support me, and they support him. They're tired of the crony candidates. They're tired of this. You know, Donald Trump pointed out last night that Hillary Clinton has done nothing in her 30 years of government. And you know what? We got one in our race, too. John Kennedy hadn't solved one problem in his 30 years of government. In fact, he's presided and participated in every Louisiana budget disaster as the chief fiscal officer of Louisiana. Maybe that's why he quickly endorsed John Kerry for president, but has failed to openly support Donald Trump in this campaign at crunch time. And that's the issue. No leadership out of any of these folks, especially the Republicans that I'm running against. And we need to pick the real leader in this race who rose to the challenge and continues to rise to the challenge, just like I have to support Donald Trump and like I will to support the state of Louisiana.
Okay, real quick, Rob, how can people, before I take a break, I got to go, how can people get in touch with you if they want to be involved in your campaign?
Website is robmaness.com. It's ROBMANESS.com. Go there to volunteer and donate. You can follow us on Twitter at Rob Maness. You can follow us on Facebook. Like us on Facebook. You get our messages quicker that way. It's at COL Rob Maness, at Colonel Rob Maness on Facebook.
All right, Colonel Maness, thank you, sir. We'll do it again. 4 weeks left.
Thanks, man.
All right, we'll take a break. We'll be back. You're listening to the Moon Griffon Show. Your opportunity to be a voice right around the corner. Show Bananas Foster. One person in the Senate race who believes in man-made global warming. Campbell said previous leaders didn't have the courage because they had their tap dancing shoes on. Campbell said that if oil and gas companies cause 30% of coastal erosion, as some studies have reported, they should pay for it. Well, we need to go by a study of Bananas because, you know, who made the study? Maybe it's only 10%. He stood out as the only candidate on Thursday night's forum who said humans are responsible for man-made global warming. And you know who he threw under the bus? The Pope. He said the Pope. The Pope believes that man-made global warming is real. The Pope. Bananas. Who he's going after next? Billy Graham? Let's go to Larry in Magnolia Crossing. How you doing, Larry?
Good morning. How you doing, Moon?
Good morning, sir.
Moon, of course, I get us all in trouble. I've been thinking again.
Well, the first thing is, have you ever said anything you didn't want recorded?
Oh, God.
Matter of fact, whatever you say today, since we podcast and we're recording, so don't be a fool.
Okay. But, you know, after last night's deal, and some friends around here that ultra-liberal, you know, one thing about being a liberal, you don't have to worry about facts meaning anything or fair meaning anything.
No,
and
not at all.
That's something the conservatives got to worry about.
Well, it's you're right about that.
And
you're right about that. But being on the left is easy. It really is.
Yeah.
Being in the right of center and right is a bad thing. Ryan to House lawmakers, I won't defend Trump. There he is, Brandon. Speaker Paul Ryan told House Republicans on conference call Monday morning he is done defending Trump. We'll focus on keeping increasingly impaired House majority. You know why Ryan does that? Because he's political. He's more worried about his rear end than anybody else's.
And there you go again. And facts and fair don't mean nothing.
Yeah, this is the bad thing about Ryan. He loves calling Trump out. But under no way, shape, or form has he ever called the worst president, Barack Obama, out one time, and he will never call Hillary out. But he'll call a Republican out. Is that not unbelievable?
It's you know, and I kind of get crossways with our friend at 970. Every time I turn around, Bush this, Bush that. Well, my point is, Bush hadn't been president for 8 years. And besides that, I correspond with him, and he's a friend of mine. So let's hush about Bush that we need to be talking about right now.
Well, listen to this. I don't know if y'all saw this, Brand. Geraldo Rivera says that he has plenty tape and conversation of Donald Trump that he's interviewed him many times. They going through the tape. He said he never used the P word in front of him. He said, but I never saw him come on to any of the beautiful women on the program. So there's Geraldo now saying he may can produce some tapes. I'm telling you, the whole thing. And by the way, what do you think Geraldo said? What do you think Geraldo said through his lifetime?
Well, I worry about him, and but anyhow, Moon, you got my point, and I appreciate you. I thank you for what you do for the state and what you do for the country, and just keep up the good work, partner.
All right, man. Appreciate the call. 844-766-6607. By the way, Hickson has a hotline. Let's see if there was anybody. Anyway, that's the latest one, Brandon, in case you were interested. Who else may be coming out with tapes? I'm telling you.
It's what Geraldo said on the air concerning our troops. Remember that?
Yeah, Geraldo is an embarrassing of what he can. If they had tapes on him, it'd really be bad. I'm just telling you. Oh, man. I'm telling you, we're in for another month. But I knew this was coming. As Brandon Como sits over there. Brandon, did I not call this when he won? Did I not call it what was coming? Every day, we're going to find out things. We're going to find out things we wish we'd have never heard, because Hillary can't run on any record. Hillary cannot run on anything. She can't run on any decision. She's wrong on the economy. She's wrong on Iran. She's wrong on the borders. She's wrong on Obamacare. She's wrong on what to do with kids. She's wrong on what to do with schools. She's wrong about Muslims fighting with George Washington. I mean, just wrong for America. And listen, it's just what we've come down to. But I knew this was coming. And the press is doing everything they possibly can. So Geraldo will have tapes. Somebody else is going to have tapes. It's amazing they got tapes of the presidential candidate. Why didn't they bring tapes about before he ran? Why didn't these tapes come out then? Oh, man, it's just something. It's embarrassing. It really is. By the way, I want to go back over it. Hillary, you go look at this, too. Go to Drudge, and they got Hillary's over there on the right-hand side, all of her great F-bombs that she threw on everybody. And you go read about all the stuff that she said. She said a lot of things, too, that just don't have it on tape. It's a big difference on tape. Big difference when you got something on tape or you got audio, you got video, than saying somebody said something or did something. See, because the press, when they talked about Juanita Broderick, they said, oh, none of this can be substantiated. Because they don't have a tape of it. They don't have film of it. See, if you got film of something, then you're in trouble. And you got tape of something, you're in trouble. I mean, you're totally in trouble if they got the goods on you like that. You can't just accuse somebody of saying something. Of course, if you believe in Sharia law, you only got to have 5 people to prove that you were raped. If you can get 5 people, then you can prove you were raped. That's Sharia law, by the way. Samuel in Bastrop. How you doing, Samuel?
How you doing? I'm doing all right, Moon.
Yeah, it's good to hear from you, sir.
Yeah, look, this is my concern.
Yes, sir.
I've been listening. I listen to the debates. I'm an African American.
Yes, sir.
I'm originally from Los Angeles, and I understand the immigration problem.
Okay.
Because I've seen it wipe out communities. Mm-hmm. But because when these immigrants come in, these Mexicans, they dump them in the black community.
Can I stop you real quick, Sammy? I want to make sure me and you are on the same page on one thing. When I say illegals, I'm not just talking about immigrants, because the immigrant that comes over here in the right way, we always have welcome people that way. But illegals coming in, go ahead.
I totally agree with you. And I'm talking about the illegal immigrants coming in, the illegal immigrants.
Yes, sir.
They're coming in, and they're destroying African-American communities across this country because they go into those communities because they're basically the poor community.
Yes, sir.
Now, another thing, too, that I've been listening to these debates, I've never heard Hillary talk about a plan to upgrade, to bring jobs into the urban areas. It's going to impact poor white African-Americans.
No, I have not.
Everybody that lives in those urban areas.
No.
Because he's the only one talking about it.
Yeah. Yeah, I by the way, Sam, you make a great point. They're not talking about inner cities. Now, if you listen to me at all, I have been talking about inner cities. There's not been the progress, not even under the President Obama. There wasn't progress under Clinton. And listen, they're not going to make progress. What I get frustrated about is they use inner city voters, and then when election's over, that's it. And I got a feeling inner city people, they want jobs. They want good education for their kids. They want to raise them just like anybody else, anywhere else, but yet they're not getting an opportunity to do that. And so they get the vote, and then they leave and throw a free cell phone and say, hey, we help you out. But that's not what inner city people want. They want jobs. They want their communities to be protected just like I want mine to be protected.
And they also want this, too. They want business opportunities because, see, when Nixon came in, the black Republicans, Nixon is known as the godfather of black business because he opened up SBA to African Americans.
Yes, sir.
So we're talking about small business opportunities also because when you can't employ yourself, you can't grow strong.
You're correct. Well, I got to tell you, I think Trump will do some of that. Hillary can't do it. She wouldn't even know where to start at. You can't. Let me tell you what you can't do. You can't take anybody that's productive out there. I don't care if they're black or white. I'm sick of talking about black and white. Any productive people out there that go out there and work hard, you don't want to keep taking from them and take from productive people because they won't become productive anymore. There's things they can do, but it's got to start with jobs, and it really got to start at the home life. You know, it really has to start back in the home life. But Hillary Clinton, look, Obama and Hillary and the Democrats have not been talking about poor people anymore. They're too focused on middle class. They already feel like they have the poor. They feel like they have the black vote. They feel like they have the inner city vote. They feel like they don't have to tell people anything anymore. They don't have to give them hope. They already got the vote. Anyway, thanks for the call, Samuel. Appreciate it. Yeah, and Samuel's right. Samuel wants the same thing in the inner cities that I want everywhere. Okay? He wants opportunities. You're not going to get it with a Hillary Clinton. It never can happen. We got to go. Terrific Tuesday tomorrow.